Spurs Bros, welcome into episode 39 of the Spurs Bros podcast. Free agency has begun and sparks are flying ahead of the July 4 holiday. Luke Kornet, the 7'1" center from the Boston Celtics, is now officially a member of the San Antonio Spurs, and we are a happy group. We're going to walk through what we know about Luke Kornet and how we think he will fit in with this San Antonio Spurs roster. Aside from that, we missed out on Yabu and a few others that were on Spurs fans' list. We're going to discuss all free agency transactions that we might have missed out on. The Western Conference has gotten stronger. What do the Spurs need to do? How do we fit in with a stacked Western Conference? Aside from that, Spurs are back in action this weekend. Summer League basketball coming your way, Carter Bryant and the gang. So gear up for some Spurs basketball. That is fun to say. If you're listening right now, please hit the subscribe button, tell a friend, like this video, comment down below on what you think the Spurs did well and missed out on this free agency cycle. But here we go, episode 39.
You doing?
Spurs Bros! Spurs Bros! Welcome to episode number 39 of the Spurs Bros podcast. We got the boys in the house, Reagan Keogh, Stuart Lynch, and yours truly, Alec Bogus. We did what we said we were going to do, or at least what we wanted to do, which was sign a big for free agency. Thank the Lord. Seriously, thank the Lord. I'm sure Wemby's over in Tokyo right now, giving a little kiss to the sky because Lord knows that man needed help. So what do y'all think about the signing of Luke Kornet? How are we feeling?
I want to hear from Stu first.
Okay.
Oh, it was a great signing.
Okay.
Great signing. I said that the other day. I mean, it was kind of known that we kind of overpaid him a little bit, but I mean, then you see Jakob's contract and some other guys. So I'm perfectly happy paying 4 years, 40 mil for him, 10 a year. That's a great contract. And when you think about it, 3 months ago, we had Zach Collins making 17 million a year on our books.
Exactly.
We'll definitely take Luke Kornet for 10 mil a year. It was a great signing. We said it multiple times last season. God, we need a big man so bad.
Yep.
We need someone for Wemby. We finally got him. He's 29 years old, 28, so he's in his prime. We got him for the next 4. Great signing.
All right.
I don't know what y'all were thinking.
That was
we wanted more for sure, but I said off the rip, great sign. That's who we wanted.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I guess it was the you wanted more part that you were upset about.
Yeah.
But dude,
Luke, great.
I spent some time the other night when we signed him looking into all sorts of stuff. Shout out King Nick NBA on YouTube. He's, Celtics diehard, so he's got some film on Luke Kornet. Dude, I think he's going to be absolutely perfect.
I agree.
On this, from a personality standpoint, from like a mindset, work ethic, like his game, unselfishness, skill set, defensive
guys who flies below the radar. And like now that we already know a little more about him, like you said, you've been watching shit on him for the past week. It's like he was born to be a Spur. Personality, just a locker room guy. He's just one of those guys.
100%. I know we dug in deep into how he plays on defense. Wasn't he one of the best rim protectors in the league?
Two of the best, Wemby and Kornet are two of like the top 4 or 5 rim protectors in the league, I think. You can look at opponent field goal percentage within 6 feet. And Vic is number 6 in the league, allowing just 52.6% from that range within 6 feet.
Goodness.
And Luke Kornet is number 8. So we have basically 2 of the top 8 rim protectors in the league on the same team now. And I do think there will be lineups where they can both be on the floor at the same time, playing Vic at the 4 and letting Kornet run around and set screens to match some of the other 2 big lineups in the NBA. Again, I think it's awesome. He's like elite.
We got him as our backup center. I don't think he'll start necessarily, but definitely probably every night I would expect maybe 5 to 10 minutes them on the court at the same time, and we should be getting every board.
Yes.
Impossible to score on in the lane. I can't wait. It'll be sick.
Yeah, man.
I think there's so much versatility with this roster now. And two, like to the defensive part, he ranks in the 99th percentile when it comes to help defense. Just as far as talent on help defense. So think of all the times when Keldon Johnson, when Devin Vassell, when these guys that have been in Branham, Wesley, anybody else who just doesn't get defense.
Yep.
Luke Kornet's going to be there to clean it up. And why don't you go watch the film? He's picking up rollers. He's picking up, guys that are popping out. He's coming over and blocking shots at the rim. He's contesting in the corner, recovering, making 2, 3, 4 rotations all in the same.
Diving for balls.
It's awesome.
Oh yeah. No, I sent you all that 5-minute highlight clip, and I was like, in this 5 minutes of highlights from the 2024-2025 season, I don't think I've seen Zach Collins do any of that. What I just saw Luke Kornet do. Just great rim protector, like you said. He diving for balls, saving stuff, tip outs, everything, man. I love it.
And we brought in the defensive mastermind, Noel Sweeney from Dallas. So, I mean, dude, our defense, no doubt should be a top 8 this year. We really don't have any excuse. We have great perimeter defending. Now we filled up the lane with Wemby, Kornet. We have no reason to not be a top 8 defensive team. And that should lead to winning.
Yes.
And the stat I just said about Kornet within 6 feet of the rim, his protection, it gets even better. If you go into the restricted area, he's 4th in the NBA in field goal percentage allowed within the restricted area there. The only 3 guys that finished above him were Chet, Wemby, and Daniel Gafford. So again, we have 2 of the top 4 rim protectors within the restricted area and 2 of the top 8 within 6 feet. It's nuts. It's also cool, all the short roll game stuff where he's, kind of rolling short. 2 guys go with the ball handler. He catches it mid-post. He's reading those kickouts, which is a staple of the Spurs offense. We have people in the corner. We've got backside actions going. He's really, really good. Again, quick decision-making, one of the best in the league when you look at those advanced stats. I couldn't be happier with the guy that we got for our backup center position. And for the price.
I'm about to say that for the price, all we wanted, really, realistically, for that price, I thought we were going to get somebody that just, like we said, just make sure the defense doesn't fall apart whenever Wemby's on the floor. That's all we really wanted. Our expectations were so low, and I'm glad they kind of were, because now I'm elated knowing that.
And he's one of the top names between us 3. He was one of the top names that we did want. We wanted him over Capella. We wanted him over Brooks, and he's old. I mean, now we didn't really think Miles Turner was going to leave. Now they did, but we were never going to pay Miles Turner $27 million a year. That's total win now move. I love it. 4 years, $40 million total. I mean, dude,
4 years, $41 million, and it'll escalate by about $500,000 each year. So this first year, next season, he's only making 9.5. Year 4, it'll be 11 million. But by then, he'll be 32, 33, and I think the ball's in our court on what we want to do with him. But for the next 3 years at least, I think he's going to be perfect for us.
And that's a great contract to have. We've said it over and over. You hear it over and over on ESPN. You cannot have a bad contract in today's NBA. We already have one for sure on the team. We couldn't afford to overpay this guy. He's going to put in so much worth, and we'll for his $10 million, he's going to put in so much that he's worth. And it's going to be.
And we had 14 to sign him. The full non-taxpayer mid-level exception was 14.1. So the restraint that we showed to not just dole out the whole thing and keep a portion of that available is awesome. We can use that to go sign somebody else for the remaining 4-ish million, or we can not use it. We also have the $5 million biannual exception to go sign some wing depth or some extra shooting. So there's still some flexibility that we can do.
We still have a few open spots on the roster, right?
Yeah. I think there's one, maybe two.
We still haven't re-signed him. I think
and all 3 two-way spots are up for grabs.
Yeah. So we have still room to do stuff and some money to do stuff. We'll see.
Again, we got everything that we wanted there. Now, going to Stuart's second point, he said, I wish we would have done more. We did miss out on the second most valuable guy, I guess, on our list, which was Yabu Seli. He is, for those who didn't remember, Yabu is Wemby's French teammate, and he was a big part, honestly, in that big run into the gold medal game in the last Olympics. And that actually earned him a contract for the 76ers, and he became a free agent. He signed a 1-year deal, became a free agent, and we were hoping to get him. We didn't. And Reagan, you could talk about why we didn't get it, because a lot of people are upset, but obviously, I mean, Reagan, you've got the details as to maybe why that didn't land.
Yeah, so he signed with the Knicks for a 2-year, $12 million contract, right? That's $6 million average over the course of those 2 seasons. Like I just said a second ago, we used 10 out of the 14 million-ish on Luke Kornet. So that remained $4 million of the mid-level exception. That gets outbid. The only other cap space that we had was a $5.1 million biannual exception. That again gets outbid. The Knicks had 5.7 million of their tax mid-level exception to pay. They used the full amount of it. They outbid him. He stays a little bit closer on the East Coast where he's familiar, I guess. There wasn't enough space as far as pure cap goes. Now, the other option that some people were clamoring for was, okay, go trade Keldon Johnson, go trade Devin Vassell, go make a trade, pair another asset with it to go get this guy in a sign and trade type thing. That doesn't make sense either, because $6 million of Yabusele versus 19 million or whatever that Keldon's making, or 30 that Devin's making, that becomes a much larger deal. And as fun and as cool as Yabu would have been on this roster, I don't think it makes that much sense to tie that much to a third string center or a second or third string power forward type guy that's really just like a vibes signing and can give us some versatility, some extra depth. I don't think it's worth all that.
Yeah.
And it probably kind of shows that we didn't want him that much, because our 4 million would have gone just as far as the 6 million he's making in New York. And then, like, Wemby would have talked to him. I think if we really wanted him, we probably could have made it happen for a little less money. So I think Spurs, like you just said, where would the playing time be? We're so clogged and log jammed at the small forward, shooting guard, power forward position. I know all you hear is positionless basketball, but like we have all those guys 6'5" through 6'8", multiple of them on the team. So why would we just add another one just to make Wemby happy? I think we would have just drafted Raynaud if we want to make Wemby happy, if we were so worried about getting Frenchie in there for him. Yep. So obviously not worried about that, but it's probably a good thing. We don't.
No, I completely agree. It would have been cool to see 6'8". He plays hard. He kind of has that same Keldon energy, right? Plays aggressive and stuff like that. I think he shot the 3 ball pretty well last season, but you know what? Can't cry over spilled milk. So it's not even spilled milk. And whatever happens,
there's just not minutes to be had at those positions right now. I just don't think he's even that much better than, or even better at all than like Harrison.
Definitely
not. Jeremy gives things that he doesn't give.
Yeah.
Just Keldon, there's just not much of a difference. And
it didn't even come down to us and the Knicks either. There was more reporting after the signing. It was the Knicks and the Nuggets was second place. So I think, Stuart, you're totally right. That just shows that he wasn't as much of a priority in our front office as he was from a fan perspective.
And that's okay. It's the same old story. It's a French guy. Everyone's just always going to assume, the Spurs are going for him for Wemby.
Right.
No. Yeah. That makes sense.
Maybe Wemby low-key's like, I don't need to have him on the team. What if he doesn't?
I'm good with seeing him every summer. It's all right.
Oh, speaking of vibing, I saw Zodiac GM gave our signing of Luke Kornet an A+, I think.
We've been on that.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Forgot to mention.
Let me pull that up.
No way the front office isn't on the same page.
It has to be.
They are looking at that, making sure every move we make.
What's his sign?
Zodiac lines up, bro. There's no way.
He connects with Castle, Harper, Sohan, and Wemby. A+ synergy grade. Luke Kornet is a cancer. Whatever that means.
We could talk about, you said the Nuggets were the other team to sign him. There's a lot of teams, including the Nuggets, who got a lot better. With Spurs pod, I get it. But just real quick on the whole Western Conference, it got a lot better this offseason over the past couple of days. A lot of teams made win now moves.
Oh boy. Yeah. So I say let's talk about it. I say the obviously our biggest threat is or I hate to say threat, but the team that I hate the most, let's say, as of right now, is the Houston Rockets, because as Jeremy says, Houston. So we don't with Houston, and they got a lot better, unfortunately. All right, they extended Ime Udoka. Extended Ime. They signed Kevin Durant. They picked up Clint Capella.
Dorian
Finney-Smith from the Lakers. Oh my goodness.
I think the most impressive move was them getting Fred VanVleet. They did not pick up his team option, but convinced him to stay and take about a $15 million a year pay cut. Yeah. So he's making 25 this year instead of 40, which gave them the room to go get Dorian Finney-Smith and extend Jabari Smith Jr. 5 years, $122 million for that man, which I saw a lot. That's looking like it might be the price of a Jeremy Sohan extension. Buckle up, Spurs fans. 5 for 122 is what they're quoting for Jeremy's extension.
What? No way.
I saw that from multiple sources.
Another bad contract we're getting into, but hey, we won't get into that. Let's wait.
There's a lot of movement to go on, right? That brings into question Devin's contract Keldon's contract, are they going to be on the books by the end of the trade when the trade deadline passes? We don't know. But that Jabari Smith contract, I saw several people talking about that is the range of what a Sohan extension could look like.
I guess
I'd say at least let's wait one game and see if he could shoot a 3 this year. But dude, if we do it, fuck yeah, might as well.
We'll see. We'll see. Lots to be said. But yeah, you're right, dude. The Rockets got a lot better. The Nuggets got a lot better too.
Got a lot better.
They signed who they get? Hardaway Jr.
They traded MPJ for Cam.
That was huge, and that was kind of the one thing that I think a lot of Spurs fans we've been talking about for months. Cam Johnson, right? Vassell on the first, send him out. Yeah. I think I would take MPJ, Michael Porter Jr. over Devin Vassell. At the end of the day, like he's bigger, he's a better, more consistent. Well, I don't know about more consistent, but better shooter. Yeah. Finals pedigree, experience.
Right.
Right. So
IQ goldfish, but he's like he can shoot it for sure. And we
weren't gonna match that. We have no one that young and more talented than MPJ, really. So we weren't gonna send anyone to get that.
With us not being able to get Cam Johnson in a trade like that to kind of offset some of the salary with Vassell, that also I think played into a little bit of us not going hard after Yabu aggressively because there wasn't the space, there wasn't enough options out there. The Nets were the team with the most salary cap space. So.
And even the Suns have made a couple good moves since they traded KD. They got better in the draft and on draft night, and they got better the past couple of days. Dallas
got better.
They can win now. We know they're win now mode, but like they made some win now moves. They're re-signing guys. A lot of teams are getting better. The teams out west Clips that they got
Brook Lopez.
They got Big Brook. So I mean, that's a solid little move for them. Now they have center depth. We know that they're always a playoff team if they can stay healthy. That their future always depends on health. Lakers just got who right now, right before
Laravia.
DeAndre Ayton.
They got big old
DeAndre. Yeah.
It could either be the best move or the worst move for me. You never know with DeAndre.
We'll see.
And then Warriors have stood pat, but we know they're kind of they're trying to get a Laurie or, Al Horford's been linked to them. They're hoping Giannis becomes available. They're for sure going for a win now move, want to get one more ring out of Steph. So the West will be very tough next year.
The Thunder re-up some of their guys.
Yeah, so Thunder, they're running it back, but they got Sorber in the draft. But yeah, I mean, with all the stuff that's happened the first 3 days, we love Kornet for sure.
Yes.
But why did I want to get more? Because there's no way. There's a way, there's a way, I guess, if we win. But we still have a rookie coach. There's a lot of good coaches out west. We got to take that into account. We definitely took it for granted. Didn't even have to think about coaching the last 25 years of Spurs ball. Now we saw it a lot last year. Big mistakes and big moments. I'm still very convinced we're a playing team. It'll be hard to get that solidified top 6 spot in the West.
Hard
with how good the West has got the past couple of days and how good it already was.
Yeah, I think that we're talented enough to make a playoff spot. Yeah. But I think it just comes down to that intangible grit, like being able to push through and win games.
Yeah.
That you like all that's up here, right? Not making mistakes like we did last year, like actually improving on the stuff that we did didn't do well last year, which was again making bad rotations, getting bumped up for spots, not being mentally tough, not showing out in third quarters or first quarters, right, to start the game, not finishing well, all that stuff, like. That just needs to turn. I think if we can do that, I think we're talented enough, but that's hard task, especially with a really, 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 really talented West. I mean, you just pull out that list. It was like all 10 teams, including us.
Yeah.
I don't even think it had like Portland in there.
Didn't have Portland.
And they made some win now moves too.
Kings,
they're good. Like all these teams are good.
Yeah.
So
I think the only teams we're guaranteed better than are the Jazz and the Pelicans.
Yeah,
Jazz and Pelicans.
That would put us in the third.
And that said, if Derek Queen is as good as the Pelicans think he is, and if Jeremiah Fears is as good as they think he is, and DeJounte comes back healthy, and Zion keeps the weight off, and Trey Murphy and Herb Jones, like they've got talent too, man.
Yeah,
like
they do.
It's a deep conference, and the East is just a cakewalk with all the injuries at the top over there. So,
Yeah, I'm about to say, which brings me to my second grievance, which was the Houston Rockets. We hate that they're making some good moves, and then obviously our foes, who we own their future, the Hawks. They made a lot of great moves as well in the offseason so far, and I don't like it. So maybe we can find a way to get off those assets, I guess, those first round
Fair to
picks
say, at
just to
least
get
for
somebody.
next season, probably that 26 swap.
Hmm.
Probably we'll be taking our own pick, I would assume. We're not taking the ATL pick because they could be a second round team in
Yeah.
the playoffs. They can make a run. They got young talent. They got a lot of players in this offseason, man. They're going to be solid. So
Yeah.
yeah, definitely 26 and 27 picks from Atlanta have lost a lot of value the last couple days.
Yep. Talking about some now former Spurs, Trey Jones signed a 3-year, $24 million deal to re-sign with the Chicago Bulls. So good for Trey. Glad he got.
Good for Trey Jones.
Yeah, great for him. Seriously, 8 million a year. I know he played well toward the end of the year for Chicago. That's awesome. And then Mamu, our boy, the legend. Yes, he's gone.
Sad.
He's gone.
Ugh.
And favorite, kind of like a Boban, man, in many ways.
Yeah.
Just everyone loved him, and for good reason.
Flava Flav.
Flava Flav. He had literally one of the most. He had a historic game for us. He scored the most points in under 20 minutes in NBA history. Was
Yeah.
like 34 or something.
34 points in 19 minutes, 7 of 7 from the 3-point line. Just iconic night.
When will
And
that
then
ever
Flava Flav, apparently his best friend comes out of nowhere and like takes over the arena mic. Like, when nothing else was on the line, we get a Mamu night that will forever be etched into my memory. And I know a lot of Spurs fans remember. Sad to see him go, but yeah, 2 years, $5.5 million to go to Toronto.
Yep. Yep. So that's all that's been happening, folks. As far as the free agent signings, that sort of thing's been happening. Beyond that, we're kind of really looking forward to Summer League ball. I mean, guys, you'll have any thoughts or opinions there? I know we've got our first game coming up. Is it on the 5th? Yeah, the 5th
Yeah.
against the Heat. And then right after that, on the 6th, we play against the Warriors. And then on the 8th, we play against the Lakers.
Yeah, so we go Saturday, Sunday, Monday in San Francisco. Yeah.
Yep. So that'd be great. I'm going to love that. Unfortunately, Spurs fans, I'm sure a lot of y'all have seen. I know a lot of y'all have seen because y'all have been bitching about it online, which was
Like crazy.
Dylan
Like
Harper is
crazy.
not going to be playing because he has a little bit of a strained groin or something like that. And so Spurs fans are pissed because they want to see their number 2 guy go.
Playing in Cali for sure, but then might play in Vegas. I would fully anticipate him to run the first 2 games in Vegas. That's my call.
And then call it. Yeah. Yeah.
He did-
That's exactly what
Wemby did
Castle
2.
did.
I think
Exactly
Castle
what
did
Wemby
the
did.
first
Yeah.
2. Because I think last year we made it to that playoff in Vegas and we weren't playing Castle and we were all pissed because we wanted to win, but we're like,
Yeah.
fuck, can we do that in the long
What does it really get us to play the
Yeah.
number 4 and now the number 2 overall pick, the extra 3 games to win?
But we do expect Carter should probably play all of them. So
Yeah.
we'll
A
love
lot
to
of
see
it for
what he's
sure.
got.
Yeah.
And, if he can really lock up and hit some wide open shots, hit some threes, play make, it would be fun to watch him.
Harrison Ingram and Riley Minix will be there too.
Yep.
Get to see what they look like if they're going to catch those 2-way contracts. So
A solid little squad.
Yeah.
for sure. It'll be interesting out there.
Yeah, I always love having guys on our summer league squad that we know can play, but they're not like good enough yet for the NBA, but they're like torching guys in the G League, right? So like Riley Minix, perfect example. And so like he's gonna come out with some swagger, being like, all right, these guys are like rookies and whatever else. Like I'm gonna do my thing. I have high confidence that he'll play well, which means I think that will be pretty good. I think. But who knows? Speaking of Carter Bryant, I am still extremely excited about the guy. Extremely excited. I love what I'm seeing. I mean, he was just this is summer league and free agency, and the summer is all about like you're gonna get all these highlight clips and all these open gym runs, Rico Hines and whatever New York where all these guys are playing.
Yeah.
But I just saw a video of him just like effortlessly torching other dudes who are in his draft class and just like dominating, doing things that we hope to see him do in a Spurs uniform, which is like blocking shots. He's effortlessly getting off the ground and swatting things, going coast to coast and throwing down on guys. He's throwing lobs, from half court. Like he's doing all this stuff. It's like, oh my gosh, I cannot wait to see him do that. And then kind of along that point, he was asked in one of a little presser recently, he's basically talking about how he's going to stand out and make his mark on the team as a rookie. And he says, everyone wants to score the ball, but how do I separate myself and get on the floor? And he talks about defense, which is beautiful.
Yeah, he was like, that's where I think I can make an impact if I can really hone in, lock in, know other players' tendencies. know the schemes that we're running, know the game plan. He thinks he can make an impact there. And that's like, dude, just like think about when you run my player in 2K, it's like you get on the court and you don't have the you don't have the VC for any offensive skills yet. But what do you have? A ton of athleticism and the ability to poke a ball here, get out on the run, make a good pass, block a shot, assist. Like that's the kind of stuff that he's saying he's ready to go try and do because he has that innate ability. And like the offense and the spot in the offensive schemes will come down the road. So he's hitting all the like quotes and things right on the head.
He's saying the right stuff for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I mean, you're seeing him in practice at the Spurs facility. His shot looks really good. It doesn't look broken. He's not like Devin Vassell.
Oh, dude, it's clean.
Space or Jeremy Sohan. He's got a beautiful looking shot.
Yep.
So, and for being that big with that big of a wingspan, like that's just money, man. That's absolutely money. I cannot wait to see him play. And I stick with my point, which I said last time. I think he's going to crack the rotation and get regular minutes sooner rather than later because we know for a fact somebody's going to start slipping. Either Keldon's going to not play defense or Devin's going to get back cut again or something. And
Devin's going to get back cut again. That's going to happen.
After night 1 of the season.
Yeah.
I promise you that.
Yeah.
It was cool. Both Carter Bryant and Dylan Harper said though, like while they've been at the practice center the last few days, it's like, man, I just walk around the corner and I see Manu Ginobili and Tim Duncan and Greg Popovich. And it's like, that's my whole childhood. It's just like working out in the gym down the hall from me. It's crazy. You don't get that in any other organization. And like we were talking about it over in our group chat, like the pedigree, the legacy that this Spurs organization has, you're not getting that if you go to Charlotte or DC or even Portland. Like, and even if you have legends, they're not hanging around the practice facility day in and day out like our guys are. It's so sick that these guys who have idolized those players growing up get to be with them on the daily. It's sweet.
100%, man. That's right. I think Carter Bryant was like, they knew my name. And usually they said, you're a hell of a player.
Yeah.
Like, wow. Oh my gosh. Like, that's awesome. That's beautiful.
I kind of wanted to run through some of the other free agent names that were linked to the Spurs or that people had on their list and just kind of recap the numbers that it would have taken to get these people so that, the complainers, the people that just are always consistently upset with Brian Wright in the front office can just take a breath. All right. Be happy with Luke Kornet. Be happy with our draft picks because Nickeil Alexander-Walker is now in Atlanta, 4 years, $62 million. That's $15.5 million a year on average. That's more cap space than what we had to offer anybody, even if we wanted him. Santi Aldama, 3 years, $52.5 million. We did not have that money for Santi Aldama. Brooke Lopez was 2 for 18 with the Clippers, but he's 37 years old, $9 million a year for a 37-year-old, or $10 million for a 29-year-old in Luke Kornet. Right. I'm taking Luke Kornet. For sure. Clint Capella, 3 years, 21.5 to Houston, $7 million a year for Houston. You can pay that, whatever. It's a reunion. Probably worked out that way. I don't think he is as good of a fit.
They already re-signed Steven Adams this offseason too. So I was like,
yeah, great fit for Houston. Yeah. Not as good of a fit for what we want to do.
Right.
Tyus Jones, 1 year, $7 million with the Magic. If we wanted to go sign some other guard like a Tyus Jones, which we had talked about a lot before we drafted Dylan Harper, that's $7 million. Again, if you get Kornet, that's more money than we have available with the MLE or with the biannual exception. It's just all these players. Jakob Poeltl,
I know,
4 years, $104 million extension with Toronto.
Got the bag.
Crazy. 26 a year for Jakob, bro. You're telling me you want to pay Jakob 26 or you want to pay Luke Kornet 9 or 10?
That's what I'm saying.
It's a no-brainer on all this stuff. And like, yes, there's options, and yes, there's all these players that are open. But even Jake LaRavia, 2 years, $12 million. That's more than we had to offer. Yabu, more than we had to offer. Everybody, once you make that $10 million purchase, basically, the money's not there. So we just have to face that we have who we have. There's probably not going to be much more going on this summer, but we added talent and depth and abilities, and we get to get really good looks on a team with expectations going into the year.
Yep. Completely agree. Yeah, and yeah, seeing that list, especially the Jakob thing, man, I'm like, we really stole Luke, man. We really stole Luke Kornet. And I think part of that is he didn't really have a huge role on Boston's roster, right? I mean, again, they played five out. Everyone was just shooting threes and layups,
Yep.
and he just did all of the little things. He did his role extremely well. But we know that he's got more in the tank, more to give, more to offer. And I think we're going to see that unlock. But my gosh, because of that, we got him at a steal. And, God bless Jakob. We love him. He was with us for a while. And,
Can't imagine paying Jakob
but
26.
I'm about to say, you would have a field day
No.
if that was our contract that we
No
signed.
shot.
into.
No
Oh my gosh.
shot. Oh my God. But just go look at Celtics Twitter and look at their reactions from losing Luke Kornet. Those people are in shambles that he's gone.
Yeah.
Like fan favorite, locker room favorite, and not just like a gimmick fan favorite. Like genuinely loved what he did for the way he played, how hard he played, and the plays that he made in big spots. Game 5 against the Knicks in the Eastern Conference Finals, that was, or game 3, whatever it was. It was the Luke Kornet game. Like, it was crazy. So he's got some awesome ability. Let's be happy with what we brought in, and let's move on to the rest and just focus on our roster now.
Yep. Yep. And speaking about the roster, let's kind of go through it now. I mean, so this is our current roster. If everything stays as it is going into next season, San Antonio Spurs, point guard, De'Aaron Fox, shooting guard, Dylan Harper, small forward, Harrison Barnes, power forward, Jeremy Sohan, and at the center, we got Wemby. Coming off the bench, we have our reigning rookie of the year, Stephon Castle, even though I don't think he's going to come off the bench. And you got Devin Vassell, Keldon Johnson, Carter Bryant, Luke Kornet, Julian Champagnie. I still like it. I still like it a lot.
I like it. Like you said, it's talented.
Pretty nice.
Very young. No experience other than Fox and now Kornet.
Yeah.
Barnes.
So why it'll be hard. Yeah, Barnes. It'll be hard to. But hey, at least we have some veteran guys who can mentor our young guys. But yeah,
Yep.
it'll be hard.
Right. I tend to get very optimistic, especially whenever I'm far removed from this season. Not this guy. Not this guy.
You're Mr. Optimist.
I know.
At every prediction this whole season, we're going 3-0 on the week.
I know.
3-0 on the week.
3-0 or 3-1.
Yes. And so I'm looking at the roster, and I tend to get bought in and talk myself into what other people are saying, which is Devin didn't have an off season to train. You've got
It's had six off seasons.
going into last year. I know, I get it.
I said 6 off seasons for one of them. He was hurt for the off season. Cool.
Right? Yeah, going into the season, he will, whatever, to improve, to get better, yada yada.
Fun fact about Devin today. Only one season out of his 6, he's played more than 70 games. One season.
I didn't know that.
Mr. Injury prone. Keep on going.
Yeah, I'm about to say that was like my
Keep on
optimistic train. Just bam, got
your boy Devin. Yeah,
yeah.
He's
Okay.
having a great offseason.
That's verbal meme. It's the
Been
school
seeing him at
bus
the
on the
Rock?
railroad tracks, and
I
the
see
train
Castle
just.
at the Rock every day. Where's Devin? I just see Keldon working out. Where's Devin? You seen anything with Devin?
That was a Paris Fashion Week, bro.
Ah, dude, yeah.
He's out there modeling in Paris, on the streets of Paris, taking cool aura
That's
vibe
his offseason. That's what
in
he's
front
worried
of
about. Being a rich boy.
Region graffiti. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Super sick.
Great offseason.
No, people are talking about
Working.
Harper versus Castle in the starting lineup. I think if either one of them comes off the bench, it won't be long until Vassell is the one coming off the bench. Like,
I think Devin should be off the bench off the rip.
yeah, bro. I think my starting 5 after the draft, after this free agency, it should be Fox, Castle, Barnes, Sohan, Wemby. That's my starting 5.
I'm with that. Yep.
Second group would be Harper, Keldon, Vassell, Champagnie, and Kornet.
Yep.
That's a beautiful. That's a really good balance in the.
And if
starting
Champagnie has a bad first 8 minutes or whatever, then the second
There's
half,
Carter Bryant
2 minutes,
for you.
Go to Carter. Yeah. Or Keldon. If Keldon has a bad and Champagnie send threes, and Carter will get those 8, 10, 15 minutes a night.
Love it. I do. I think you nailed it there.
But again,
Reagan.
that's crazy. Then if we're saying we're paying Keldon 18 mil a year to have, if he's having a bad night tonight, he only plays 8 minutes.
Is this his last year on the contract?
He's under contract this year and next year,
Oh,
and then he's an unrestricted free agent after that. So we've got him under contract the next for 2 more
And
seasons.
there's no way we just already commit and extend him this summer. That'd be crazy.
yeah.
I don't think so. I think it's, hey, prove it, and we'll take care of you in the offseason if you do, and if not, Man, that trade deadline is going to look like a Keldon Johnson transaction.
which he's been on the freaking chopping
He's
block
been on the
the
block for like
last
three
three. So
years.
yeah, him and
Yeah.
Devin have somehow, I keep saying it, they've escaped Alcatraz multiple fucking times.
Which is because, okay, and if we're all being honest and real, if you just use your like just gut instinct, I love Keldon Johnson to death. And
Yeah, we do.
we love what he's brought to the organization, the culture, all that stuff, and the energy, the smile. But like he's at this point like kind of a personality hire. You know what I mean? Like you
Yeah.
got the people in the office that you hire because they're just cool and they're fun. They make good jokes and they're lively. Like beyond that, seriously, like what is the like true value add, that Keldon has brought? Or like whenever you think about our roster as is and going into next season, you're like truly visualizing, okay, Wemby here, Kornet here. Where like seriously, where does like Keldon like, oh, I see Keldon doing what? I see him doing X. I see him getting shot, blocking shot. Like, I don't know, like slashing kind of, but like when in garbage minutes,
Open court. Yeah.
you
It's
know what I'm
going
saying?
to, I mean, it's really like
Like,
fast break
we're making those sky,
finishing.
Not being able to like really lock down on the perimeters. He still gets beat a
You can't
lot.
do
He
that.
doesn't know how to
Yeah.
play a pick and roll D. Like,
I think as we talk about this right now, like as you're saying that, the thought that went through my head is we just drafted our Keldon Johnson replacement in Carter Bryant.
yeah.
And it's just going to be is it going to be in the middle of the season? Is it going to be next year? Is it the year after that where we go full on? Like, is it 10 games in? I don't know. But I
Yeah.
think we drafted our Keldon Johnson replacement.
we also all know come playoffs too. Pray to God we're a playoff team. But we all know come playoffs that roster goes down to the rotation is
Ooh.
eight,
8 or
maybe
9.
nine guys.
Maybe 9.
Maybe 10. But like, do we see Keldon Johnson getting 15 to 20 minutes a night in the first
Don't
or
trust
second
it.
round of playoffs? Like,
I don't trust it.
Yeah, because again, I'm thinking about last year as well, and the times where he had games where he played fantastic. He played his butt off, and he had winning plays. But there's so many other times during the year where he would hit like a big shot, but we'd lose the game, so it never even mattered, right? Like he'd hit like
Yeah.
a three to cut it to six,
down
to
five.
keep us within striking distance, and then like he'd go, and then nothing would happen. We'd lose, like so.
Yeah, then Devin will get
Right.
back cut and
Yeah,
game's over.
right. Yeah, so that's all I'm thinking about. Not, gosh, guys, see, that's the vortex, bro, boys. Like that. It started with you. I was trying to be optimistic here.
Yeah, it started out with Alec about to like be the shining ray of
And he's having a
positivity
great
here.
off season. Oh,
I didn't mean to say like
just being real, dog.
I'm reading what other people are saying, and I'm saying what I was trying to say is I get bought in to the narrative, which is like, hey, Wemby went out halfway last season, right? He didn't get to finish his campaign, his sophomore year campaign. Fox and him only got 5 games together. Fox had a broken pinky. Stephon Castle's going to have a year of improvement, a summer of improvement. Dylan Harper, number 2 pick, super skilled guy. And then I'm saying I led with Devin. Maybe I shouldn't have led with Devin. I'm saying part of that was Devin is having a summer where he can
in Paris.
improve and have a full summer to work on his game.
Moral of this story is I can get bought into a narrative too, but the minute you bring up Devin Vassell, the narrative just gets bodied off the tracks,
Right.
and we derail immediately.
Fair enough.
Prove it to us, Devin. I guess is the message.
Very second, Fox hasn't been extended yet. I mean, Devin
He can't get extended until August. Yeah.
So Devin is one of the highest paid players on our team. And it's very fair for us to criticize him the way we do when you're one of the highest paid players on the team and you perform the way you do.
Yeah, the highest. Until Fox signs that new contract, he is the highest paid player.
What's Fox getting paid?
20, something in the 20s, but Devin's
No
30.
way.
Yeah, I'll fact check myself, but 20, never mind. I was way off. I had 27 in my brain. He's going to get 37 next year. So
Okay.
Incorrect.
Still
He's
second
already
highest,
second highest. But
second highest who we're saying, hey, he's got to come off the bench.
Right.
Got to get up 10 shots a night max. Like, dude.
Police, bro. I don't know what his agent did or what, but he got us. We got. Hey, but again, maybe he accepts the role of I just need to be better and more efficient in my shot selection, and I need to be better.
We should tell him your role has nothing to do with the offensive end. focus on defense every single night, or you're off the court. Because offense will come naturally. We have all these guys who are going to be driving the lane. That's not what he did. Like your offense will come naturally if you catch and shoot, whatever. You shouldn't worry about offense at all. That's all he has thought about for the past 6 years. He
True.
only needs to focus on defense.
So basically relegate him to his rookie year role. 3-and-D, like spot up shooter,
Right.
maybe a pull up here and there.
Right. Don't be trying to make, tough shots, falling away,
You're welcome. We gave you generational wealth, but we don't want you to play that type of game anymore. So like, just do what we ask of you now, please.
Fair enough. So yeah, boys, that was the week that was, and that's sort of like looking ahead and as a roster stands right now. I mean, again, like I said, things are going to change. We're going to get more and more spots and clues as summer rolls on, just to see how Harper looks and see how Carter Bryant looks, and then maybe we'll get some spicy film of Devin Vassell in the weight room and on the court, working on his
runway in Paris
or something. Yeah, or that too. So yeah, I don't.
One item of cleanup that happened this afternoon: Mitch Johnson officially in the win column. Basically, since Pop has officially stepped down, retired from coaching, and Mitch Johnson was hired full time, the NBA and the Spurs came to an agreement to take those 77 games off of Pop's record and shift it onto Mitch Johnson's head coaching record. So Mitch Johnson is now 32-45 as an NBA head coach. That brings Pop's win total down to 1,390, which is still the most in NBA history. So his win total came down, but his win percentage went back up because 32-45, obviously below 500. Pop was over 500 just about every season he ever coached. So, well, until the last couple of years. So his record is now 1,390 and 824. But again, still the most wins in NBA history. And Mitch Johnson is on the board.
There you go.
Kind of a cool little wrinkle. The only other time this has really happened is the Paul Westphal Lakers coach back in the 70s when he took over Magic and Kareem, that team back then. Yeah. It's the same kind of situation. The head coach got injured and he came on. Old guy retired. Westphal stayed on permanently. They switch all those games over. So just some administrative work. But I think it's cool for Mitch. He actually gets the credit for basically a full season.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, he started off his career as a losing head coach. No. Yeah. No, that's good. Yeah, seriously, good for him. Start building up that resume, man. So, anything else?
You got a cool hat on.
Oh, say more about that. What? I forgot I had this on. Yeah, Spurs Bros. Hello. In case you didn't notice, in case you're listening instead of watching, we have a new hat. What do y'all think about that compared to Stu?
Compared to the OG.
That's the OG. Yeah. That's our logo. And this is just a little more colorful. A little more. I like the different font style.
A little flare.
I don't like that. Hey,
if you like it, or if you want any of these hats in any other color, just let us know if we should expand from white.
I agree. Yeah.
Maybe black. But yeah, both. So you're telling me that both designs now are available with either a white or a black hat band?
If the Spurs Bros want it, the Spurs Bros can get it. So yes.
Hey, y'all hear that? Y'all can get it.
Yeah. Exactly.
No, but for real, y'all, if you want a hat, order a hat. We'll ship it right to you. And again, we're pretty close to our goal to be able to upgrade software for next season. Yep. So you support us, our product is only going to get better. We're not doing it for our own income or anything like that. We want to make it a better product and do some cooler stuff. So yeah, go out, buy a hat, hit the subscribe button. We passed, podcast cleanup. We hit 500 subs over the last weekend.
Should have led with that.
Yeah, that was major. 500 subs, major. Yeah. So we're now on the road to 1,000. I'm gonna figure out another giveaway at some point in time. You know, our 350 or 400 whatever giveaway guy never responded. So you missed out on that. But I think you run that back
then.
We're gonna run it back. We'll give away two things then. We'll give away the hat and we'll give away maybe another hat or whatever it is.
Yeah, we'll figure out a new method because it's gonna get kind of crazy to do a spin like that. So we'll find another way to do a couple more giveaways. But
we'll give away something.
Tell a friend.
Yeah, we'll give away something big. It'll be less than a Bitcoin.
And, definitely less than a Bitcoin.
and more than a NFT. So we'll just leave it at that. It's gonna be something awesome. So subscribe is what we're trying to say.
Yeah, but for real, thanks for the support. It's huge. It's cool to see this continue to grow. We're also on Spotify. Tell a friend, leave a comment. Y'all have anything else?
No, that's it, man. I think we're
No.
All
solid.
right. Well, first time in a couple months we've been able to say this with actual Spurs basketball coming our way this weekend. Again, July 5, 6, and 8. 3 summer league games. You can catch Carter Bryant in action with some of our other guys, and with actual games coming up from the Spurs Bros. Go Spurs, go!